when you're working on a scout team, it's a chance to show the coaches what you can do, and I think this worked out well for you, and you had a chance to prove your talents in this game.
Well, sir, Dave Erickson and Joe Krill have prepared me for, I feel, anyone in the league, because those are two great blockers, and they're also excellent receivers, and I feel that they played a major role in my success.
Was it tough just to go out in the field for the first time in a game condition like that and get your bearings? I know that a couple times it looked like you were wondering what side to line up on, but it seemed like as the game went along, you got your bearings straight and you got into the game.
Yes, well, you got it about right, sir. I did have some trouble. And, well, the thing that startled me was to actually hear my name called. Sims, get in there. That was, I feel, so far my biggest thrill as a Bronco. That moment right there, not the fumble recovery, not the tackles, just to hear my name called.
I know that Coach Madison stresses pursuit with the defense and to get as many guys around the ball, and I thought the defense did that today. You guys were around the ball and had good pursuit.
Yes, we did an excellent job of pursuing the ball, and a couple of times I don't think I'd be Bronco Player of the Week if it wasn't for our pursuit. They saved me more than once.
Tom, a great effort against Miami, and the best of luck to you the rest of this year in your career at Western Michigan.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Tom Sims, our Bronco Player of the Week, the outside linebacker from Detroit, had 10 tackles and 1 sack for -7 yards and the fumble recovery. Up next is our feature, and this week we're going to take a look at the Mid-American Conference office, which is headquartered in Toledo, take a look at its functions and the two members of that office, Commissioner Jim Lessig and Sports Information Director Alan Chamberlain.
The best defensive set in the Mid-American Conference is at Northern Illinois, so I think Jerry has the best chance for success being one of the new coaches in the league.
That's Western Michigan head coach Jack Harbaugh talking with sports writers at the annual Mid-American Conference football preview, which is held in early August and serves as the season's kickoff for the 1985 year. It is held in Toledo, Ohio, the home of the MAC office headquarters, and serves as a gathering place where writers, radio and TV reporters can talk football with the league's head coaches and key players. It is just one of the many functions the Mid-American Conference office provides under Commissioner Jim Lessig and Sports Information Director Alan Chamberlain. The MAC office serves as an overall coordinating point for the league's 10 schools.
I think we're more of a coordinating point. It's a good question, Steve. I was at a school for 4 years in the conference and really didn't know what the conference office did. I'd say our primary goal, our most important tangible role, is assigning officials in football, basketball, and volleyball. We also coordinate the running of all the championships. We're very involved with the basketball tournament. The other championships are basically run by the schools that are hosting them. Certainly from my perspective, we're very involved with the media, with publicity, with conference statistics and publications and the image in general. So it's a varying function, some rather minute, like gathering, not minute, that's perhaps a wrong term, but eligibility lists, we have to gather those, financial aid lists, all as a coordinating point, probably our biggest function.
Jim Lessig, who was in his 4th year as the league's commissioner, explains that the league office, along with the 10 members, helps in promoting the conference and its athletes.
I think, we're trying to be a coordinating effort. Each institution is autonomous in the sense that it keeps its own statistics, does its own publicity, its promotion for games. We try to take all that and put it together. And our job, and it becomes difficult at times, is to promote the total conference. The reason I say it becomes difficult, Steve, is that it's obvious that at times you have to promote a certain athlete within the conference, a certain team, simply because they're doing well. But at the same time, you want to treat all 10 evenly. And that makes our problem, and I think Alan's problem, somewhat difficult. But we try to do that if we can and coordinate the whole thing, bring it together, promote the conference both regionally and nationally, and then through promoting the conference, hopefully promote each of the individual institutions.
The MAC office has always looked to promote the league in the Midwest areas, but this past summer expanded for national coverage. A mini tour consisting of Lessig, Chamberlain, Bowling Green head coach Denny Stoltz, Western Michigan head coach Jack Harbaugh, and All-American candidates Brian McClure of Bowling Green and Western's John Offerdahl traveled to Detroit, Cleveland, and New York to meet with writers of national publications and the 3 TV networks. As Lessig points out, it was well worth the investment.
Well, I think, Steve, we felt we had to take our product to the press. We have this press conference here, and it's well attended, and the people here are very important to us. But we tried to go to those people who normally don't cover the MAC. Even though Detroit does cover the MAC, we tried to invite those people who don't normally do that. And I think it was successful. As you know, some of the other coaches joined us in Detroit and Cleveland. We just took the two coaches and two players to New York. The New York thing was very successful. I had one writer in New York tell me, this is really a bold challenge. You guys are really daring. First of all, New York is not a collegiate town. To bring the Mid-American Conference in here is really a gutty move. But the people that came were so important to us, and it's already generated some national stories. I think the difference is the Mid-American Conference gets pretty good coverage regionally. What we don't get is the national coverage. And this was simply an attempt to expand that and try to get some national stories. And once you get on the AP wire, or once ABC or CBS or NBC pick you up, you're talking about national coverage. And we think it's been successful.
As the other conferences do, the MAC is always looking to get its schools and athletes as much publicity as possible. According to Chamberlain, now in his third year as the director, after serving as the SID of Bowling Green, the key is to sell and promote the product, whether it be a team, coach, or athlete.
We try to sell whatever the story is that has to sell. Anybody can stand up and say, look, we're good. But if you've got something, if you've got a John Offerdahl, who's a three-point pre-med student and also one of the best linebackers in the country, you sell that story. If you got a Brian McClure, who may break the NCAA passing record this year. If you got a Ronnie Harper or a Dan Palambizio in basketball. Or if you've got a great volleyball program that Western Michigan has, you got to pick out what your best point is. But by promoting that player, coach, or team, we are at the same time promoting the league as a whole, and that's the approach we use.
We'll take a timeout on Bronco Football 85, and when we return, we'll look at the Broncos' next opponent, Ball State.
WestOps, Western Michigan University's Office of Public Service, helps business and industry, local government, education, other agencies, as well as the general public find answers to questions and solutions to problems. Use it. Call toll-free 1-800-442-7356 or write WestOps, Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo. Western Michigan University's Department of Anthropology sponsors an archaeological field school during spring semester. Students enrolled in the field school receive training in the methods and techniques of excavating an archaeological site. For more information, contact Department of Anthropology, Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo.
Up next for the Western Michigan Broncos will be Ball State Cardinals in Waldo Stadium on Saturday. And Ball State features a quarterback that we haven't seen before, Wade Kozakowski.
I'm really impressed with the way you pronounce that name. You've done your homework. But no, they're an excellent team, coached by a fine guy in Paul Shadell. He and I used to sit in the staff meetings at Bowling Green side by side, and we used to talk and kibitz, and this will be an exciting game for me, I know, having a chance to compete against Paul Shadell. But he's pumped some real life into that team, both offensively and defensively. They're throwing the ball more than I ever thought Paul would. I thought he was one of those 3 yards in a cloud of dust type guys, but he's throwing the ball, and this Wade guy that you mentioned is throwing the ball well, and they have some outstanding receivers.
Okay, let's take a close look now at the Cardinals of Ball State. The Cardinals of Ball State will come to Waldo Stadium on Saturday to play the Broncos with the kickoff scheduled for 1 o'clock. First-year head coach Paul Shadell has turned around a team that went 3-8 last year and has them in the middle of the MAC pack with a 3-3 conference record and an overall mark of 3-4. Offensively, the Cardinals are led by sophomore quarterback Wade Kozakowski, who is in his first year of playing duty. He's the league's #1 rated quarterback, completing over 60% of his passes for 1,057 yards and 5 touchdowns. His top receiver is sophomore flanker Deion Chester, who has 25 catches, good for 343 yards. Anchoring the running game is 5'8" junior tailback Carlton Campbell. Number 24 has gained 351 yards and has scored twice. Ball State's leading scorer is senior place kicker John Dietrich, who has 57 points, including 16 of 19 in the field goal department. Defensively, Ball State returns 8 starters from last year's team. Leading the pack is senior linebacker Brad Sard, number 94. He leads the team and the conference in tackles with 105. Senior defensive end Dominique Galloway has 66 tackles, including 10 quarterback sacks. And anchoring the secondary unit is senior cornerback Darren Martin, number 47. These two teams met last year in the rain at Muncie, and the Cardinals came back with time running out to pull out a 23-20 win as fullback Jay Knowles scored the game winner. Jack, back to Waldo Stadium now to play Ball State. I know the players probably can use this game and go into practice and say, hey, we've got to put a better show on for the folks in Kalamazoo, and now's a chance to do it.
We've been waiting for that. It's something special playing in front of your friends and your family and your girlfriends and your classmates. And against Bowling Green 3 weeks ago now, we didn't play very well. Last week I thought we played well enough to win, but it wasn't in the cards. And now coming back and playing a very good Ball State team gives us another opportunity to play well in Waldo Stadium. It's tough to play on the road, and our players have answered that challenge here today, and hopefully we can carry it into next week.
And I think it was a step in the right direction.
I believe so. They'll be second guessing this game. Maybe not as much as they did the last 10-10 tie with Eric Parsegan and Duffy Doherty, but I think we made the right decision, and I can live with it.
Good luck against Ball State.
Thank you.
You can join Jack Harbaugh and myself, Steve Babick, next week on Bronco Football 85 for all the highlights of Western Michigan and Ball State.